Hey guys, Skits Tony here, back with another YouTube video. I hope you're in your happy and safe place. I hope you're having a beautiful weekend. Sorry about me, rubbing my fingers in my eyes. I just got my hydration drops on and I'm crying a little bit. But you're reading the title of this YouTube video. And I'm thinking about calling it God Changed Me, or something along the lines of the spiritual journey has changed me. And before I go and relax and read some nice and beautiful Berserk that I got right here with my Luffy's t-shirt on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There we go. We got the Luffy's. I wanted to talk about, the topic of today's video. And it's definitely not from the mindset or from the point of view of, oh, God made an amazing transformation within me, or the more submerged and the deeper that I got into this spiritual journey or awakening, the more superhuman I feel. No, it's not from that angle. It's more from the angle, it's quite the opposite actually. So let me explain. One of my favorite genres of music is hip hop / rap, and pretty much all of its subgenres. I could go for experimental hip hop, instrumental hip hop, trap, drill, you name it. Lo-fi hip hop, ambient lo-fi, bada bing, bada boom, jazz rap, old school gangster rap, West Coast G-funk, blah blah blah. I loved it. I still love it. I am a crazy rap nerd. I've been kind of like a rap nerd since about a couple of years back. Maybe it started with me when I was like 19, 20 years old. And now I can't listen to hip hop or enjoy hip hop the way that I used to. So what does this mean? Like, when I listen to artists, let's say like Playboi Carti, to just give you one example, the appeal that Playboi Carti has within me, or why I enjoy Playboi Carti so much, let's say in an album like Die Lit, which is my favorite album by him by far, I can also enjoy the production aspect of it. And for example, a beat or a track produced by Pierre Bourne that goes by the name of R.I.P. If you were to isolate the lyrics and just give me the instrumental, I would thoroughly enjoy it, right? But Carti is what I would argue a very like materialistic rapper, in the sense that he's flaunting his wealth and the typical rapper things you would normally flaunt. Like, let's say, the number of women you have, the number of bitches you have sex with, the number of cars and expensive jewelry, necklaces you got, the number of drugs you're consuming, blah, blah, blah. And, this spiritual journey, or having a closer relationship with God, certainly has made me more intolerant to these types of messages or these types of lyrics. So what I'm trying to say basically is that there used to be a moment in time where I would enjoy listening to things like, I am in my Ferrari, or I'm in my Bugatti, I got 7 bitches and I got 20 chains on, right? I could see the appeal in that, especially when you're an underdog, or when you're like a poor person, a poor guy, you're brought up in the hood, and thanks to your lyrical ability and your understanding of music, you make it, and you transcend that, and you get out of the hood. Now you're wealthy, you escape the hood, you escape poverty, blah blah blah. And from that angle, it's pretty awesome. A person that had nothing prior to his rap career, Now, singing or boasting about these things was kind of cool. But now, when I hear the lyrics again, when I hear something like, "Yeah, I'm in my Bugatti, got 7 bitches, I got 20 necklaces on, and I'm doing all kinds of drugs. Pop that Molly, pop that perk." So, yeah, it's definitely made me appreciate genres of music or styles of music that I wouldn't necessarily appreciate a while back. And the music that I listen to or that I used to listen to so happily, that's changed. God definitely changed that for me. And it's not just with music, for example, it's happening with like anime or with television series or with web series, with something like Arcane, for example. Now, I'm a guy who respects and is very open to whatever religion you practice, whatever whatever sexual creed you also practice. If you're gay, if you're not gay, if you're trans, if you're not trans, if you want to identify yourself as a dragon or a box or a furry, I'm cool. As long as you're not necessarily messing with me and you're not, crossing any lines or borders, cool, bro. You do you, right? But I remember in Arcane, right, season 2 Arcane, there's this moment that is building up between Caitlyn and Vi. And, if you've watched Arcane, and if you haven't, I'm sorry, I'm going to spoil you here. Vi and Caitlyn are lesbians. They're gay. And they have, in one of these episodes, a very, passionate kiss. And there's also one at the end. And I guess it's kind of understood that they're in a relationship or something. Bro, I bet you that if I wasn't in this spiritual journey, I would have felt a different type of way. Because when I saw this, and I started watching Arcane season 2 very deep into my spiritual journey, and being like 90% through, done with the Bible, and studying the Bible and trying to have a connection with God and blah blah blah. I know, bro, that if I hadn't began this or been so deep into the spiritual journey, I would have probably not thought anything of it. But the second I see these two girls or these two women kiss an envelope, a big part of me just cringed. And again, there's nothing wrong about, at least in my opinion, you can do whatever you want, and you can have or practice whatever sexual creed you wanna do or follow. But bro, honest to God, I just cringed. And I was just like, it would have been in my unique and peculiar universe. For me, it would have just been better if Caitlyn and Vi would have been heterosexual, and they would have met some guy or whatever. But hey, that's not me. That was how these characters are supposed to be written. It's fine. I don't have anything particularly against it. I just have to admit to you guys that, bro, I was just like, So, and this is happening because I think so, at the very least, I'm just that deep into my spiritual journey, or I'm that, I'm that closer and closer to having the best relationship with God I could possibly have. And, on the flip side, all right, let's talk about something, I guess, cool. As a Christian, or as a person who believes in God, in the one and only, and wants to have an amazing relationship with him, one of the games that I enjoy playing, and I'm only playing 3 games, and they're all mobile. One of the games, if not the game that I enjoy playing the most, is Diablo Immortal, right? And if you're not familiar with Diablo or the Blizzard franchise, or the Diablo franchise, Diablo is a Spanish word that means demon, right? But Diablo is also the name of the antagonist of these series of games, and he is basically, Lucifer, Satan, the fallen angel, you name it, right? And as a Christian, it's kind of fun to just log into this game. I think you're like a Nephilim, and Nephilim in biblical lore and like spiritual lore, they're not exactly like the good beings. I think Nephilim are actually bad. But in this game, in Diablo Immortal, you play the role of a Nephilim, and you're basically battling, fighting, killing, exterminating demonic entities, demons, creatures, horrible creatures. And Diablo, Satan, Lucifer, is the final boss, is the final antagonist. And personally, I kind of feel pretty amazing. The fact that there is a video game that exists where the antagonist is Lucifer or is Satan, is Diablo. And what you have to do on a day-to-day basis basically is, kill a bunch of demons. And you get stronger the more demons you kill, essentially. So that's fun. But everything else, bro, everything else, I've just, there's a lot of things that have changed because I've been going through this journey. The relationship that I have with social media right now is very different. It very much changed. The relationship with the content that I used to consume on a regular basis has changed. If I used to be a person that kind of wanted to stay in the loop regarding like the news cycle, before I was kind of more enthusiastic to, watch the news or figure out what's going on in the world, just to, kind of stay up to date with what's going on internationally and whatnot. But now when I look at the news, I still kind of do it as a hobby to just, what the hell's going on. But 2015 has been very brutal, bro. So you have, it's not been like 16 days, 17 days of January of the first month in 2025. And you've had a plane accident in South Korea, which was devastating. You have this forest fire or these crazy fires in California that have burned hundreds, if not thousands of hectares. It's ruined the lives of many people, or it's destroyed the homes of thousands and thousands of people. You have these two wars going on in different fronts. You have Ukraine, Russia still going on. And you have Israel, Gaza, or Israel, Palestine. And, I don't really have that much faith in the world and politics. Regarding politics, in my country, currently, you have a dictator, pretty much, doing whatever he wants to do. And it's been something that's been going on in Venezuela for the longest of time. So elections were rigged. The same party is in power. And, regarding politicians, if I didn't have faith, if I had like 10% of faith in one of these guys, whatever she said, now as a student of God and as a person who is, focusing more and more towards being as spiritual as possible, I don't trust these people at all. So politicians, if prior to this, to embarking on this spiritual journey, if politicians were one of the people I despise the most, or one of the types of people, one of the groups of people I despise the most, now in 2025, today, I think it's the 17th or 18th of January, I would argue easily, without very much discussion, that politicians are the people that I hate the most. They are all, regardless of what stance they are in, if they're leaning more to the right, if they're leaning more to the left, if they say they're going to fix the economy, if they say they're going to end all wars, if they say they're going to change whatever it is that they want to change, bruh, I don't believe in any of these people. And I think they're scum. I think they are seriously a big part of the problem as to why the world is just a shitty place. Coming from a person who thinks life can be very beautiful, but the world, bro, like the world is definitely demonic, and the world, it's like it's destined to fail because there are people who are actively trying to make your life more miserable, and these people have way too much power. They have way too many resources, and frankly, it's the game is like rigged, bro. So yeah, spirituality has done that for me. It's made me realize that, there are people who just literally don't deserve your time or day or your vote or anything related because you literally don't know what they're plotting. They might say one thing in front of a camera or in a podcast or in an interview, but bro, it's demonstrated time and time again that these people have a very individualistic and egocentric agenda, and regardless, there are people who know how to act, and there are people who know how to play this part, who practice like empathy, who you're like, oh yeah, I want this guy rooting for me, or I'm rooting for this guy, but you sooner or later find out that it's all part of something more sinister and just more diabolical, bro. And I just wish, man, that that God came here and fixed what needs to be fixed. And I don't think it's going to happen, in this third dimensional plane. I don't know, maybe I could be wrong, but I certainly have lesser and lesser faith on humanity, bro, on human beings. And I know I'm not necessarily saying that everybody is evil, or that I don't believe that there are good people. Certainly there are, hundreds, thousands, millions. But the people who are in power, and the people who have all these resources, and the people who could actually do something to change the landscape of the current times, they're not. So let's say also, if we're not talking about politicians, we're talking about tech people, people who, are social media. Yeah, we are more and more technologically advanced, and we can connect in more ways than, imaginable in today's day and age. But on a human level, on a physical level, we're further and further and further and further apart. And I think that's also part of the problem. And I think there's people who are actively making this happen, right? And they want the human being to further distance himself or herself from the other human being. So social media is pretty much disgusting. And yeah, so God changed me, or this spiritual journey, embarking on this spiritual journey and going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper has changed me as a person. I can't enjoy the things that I used to enjoy the same way. Now I enjoy other things that I thought I would never enjoy. And now I feel a certain type of way towards things that I wouldn't if I wouldn't have began this. So maybe it's not something crazy. Maybe it's something that's also happening to you. Or maybe it's something more commonplace that occurs when you embark, or when you start this journey. I kind of am thinking this through now. I can't be the only one, bro. But yeah, that's kind of my reality right now. I wanted to talk about this, and funny enough, I'm talking about something spiritual just after publishing a video titled, "I am a Christian, but I'm not a Christian YouTuber." So the irony, huh? We get back-to-back spiritually related videos. And yeah, here I am. This is Skits Tony. I hope you enjoyed this YouTube video. This is going to be as unfiltered as possible. I'm not going to cut it. I'm not going to edit it. And I'm honestly way too tired, bro. And I just want to open CapCut, kind of edit it, kind of publish it, and read Berserk, because I can't wait to see what happens in this story. So, boom! Peace!